I guess I was just curious, like during that time before Two Birds, when did you realize you were good at this?
Well, so I didn't know I was good at it until I really started getting my hands dirty at Sports Girl. And I think the best thing that happened to me was that they let me fly on my own. So
Right.
I just like picked up the phone, started calling. No one was really training me, which was bizarre. Had a marketing manager who definitely on the marketing side, but from a PR side, there was no one there that was really saying this is how you should do it. So it was jump in, get your hands dirty and make it happen, because I had to report to a board every 2 weeks on what was going on in PR. So, yeah, there was accountability that was given to me at a very, very young age. There was a lot of trust given to me at a very young age. I was really lucky to work with Mary Portas and Naomi Milgram, who owns Sports Girl. Mary owns Yellow Door in the UK. They are an amazing advertising, marketing, PR agency, and she was brought in to really transform that Sports Girl brand. And Mary kind of like took me under her wing a little bit. So every time she would be in Australia once a month shooting different campaigns, come up with different ideas. And she'd go, you get it. She's like, oh, that's the American accent. She'd be like, oh, Pru, no, you get it. You get it. Let's talk about this. And she's crazy, right? She's freaking crazy, this woman. But I adore her, and she understood retail, and I learned so much from her. And she also gave me a lot of confidence. So I think that's where it came from, to go out and do this, and this is how you sell stories, and this is how you need to position yourself. And in those days, Cosmo and Clio, which God bless, both those magazines are no longer with us. We had the chance to focus those days. Now in PR, there's so much opportunity. I mean, here we are today doing a podcast. These opportunities weren't around. I remember building the Sports Girl website, which was such a big thing. Like, who had websites in 2002? It was crazy. So, and social media certainly wasn't around. So, and neither was Zara or H&M. So the market was amazing for Sports Girl to own. And because I was in the age bracket of the target market of the Sports Girl consumer, I think I was able to just immerse myself, and I really did. I mean, I lived and breathed that brand, and we worked hard and we played hard, but we were rewarded for it 100%. So there was always the balance that was involved. So I learned so much from Sports Girl. It really has a place in my heart and always will.
I feel like a lot of early jobs can make your principles in a way as well. And I guess I'm curious, like, at that early time, what was the biggest aha moment for selling a story for you when you're sort of just learning by doing at Sports Girl?
Yeah, I think so there was sort of two parts of Sports Girl. So there was like the product placement, which was really important because girls were buying magazines and they were flipping through and seeing how to style product and whatnot. And then there was probably the biggest stories about the repositioning of the brand, which to be honest, because I was so young, I wasn't dealing with the Australian or the AFR, but I was certainly part of that with Mary and the pitching that went on. So I started to learn how you create a business story. And then there was the celebrity moments. So I think the aha moment was when we identified that Paris Hilton would probably be a good fit with the Sports Girl brand. And we worked with a guy called James Young. James had a company called Dare at that stage, and then it turned to C, and a very, very forward agency. He now owns Cherry Bar in the city. So you'd know James Young.
Oh, right.
He's he's awesome. And James and I and the team had brainstormed this idea about Paris Hilton. So we approached her to come out to Australia to film, again, really ahead of our time, a segment in store at the Chapel Street store where the idea was that you could win a week in LA shopping with Paris Hilton and Nikki Hilton as the sisters. Now, this was pretty huge.
I remember it. I remember girls were going nuts for it.
Nuts, like crazy. So Chapel Street shut down, Paris is out. The PR that we got was mental. What happened, though, was that Paris decided to have it off with Mark Philippoussis while she was here in Australia. And Mark was dating our beautiful princess, Delta Goodrem, at the time. And the media went off chops. And I had gone to the Cook Islands on a holiday, and because this was after the competition was all over, and the media, like, we were getting coverage in CNN. I had CNN calling me, 3AW, a Sky. Like, it was just, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not sure how we're going to handle this. And how do I know what's going on in a personal relationship? I just had them out for a competition. It was nothing to do with, you know, the relationship that was going on. So I think that's when I started to see the power of how I could handle what was going on, especially being so young, and that pressure. Because PR is that constant pressure. You never turn off. You're always on. No matter where you are, you know, you can't stop. And I think when I landed in New Zealand, you know, my phone started going mental, and then those next 2 weeks were just full on. We had to lock down the winners. So once we'd announced the winners, Current Affair had offered them $40,000 to share their story of their experience when they'd been with the Hilton sisters. It was crazy. Like, there wasn't obviously a lot going on, although 9/11 was close to it. I just can't remember which side of it was, but yeah, it was massive. So that's when I thought, okay, well, I've seen this blow up, so I reckon I can handle it.